Well, hello there. Might be wondering why I haven't uploaded any videos recently or live streamed in that sense, but I've been a bit sick and traveling, so that's probably the reason, or that is the reason. For today I've got some bit more epic, energetic music going on because I want to build some stuff again. I kind of want to be inspired. Yeah, to maybe build the start of an empire. Been messing around with some more mud brick buildings. Let me know if the music to voice is okay, by the way, because I don't know. This music is a bit more energetic. Might turn it down. But we'll see. That's up to you guys to decide. But I can only respond to that if somebody types a message. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing some layouts and just seeing where the builds kind of take me. And I'll be using the Axiom tool because it's a lot of fun. All right, if nobody's gonna chat, sit back and enjoy. Okay, I've got some desert kind of theme going on here. I have kind of the mud brick stuff going on. I think I'm gonna do some kind of deserty builds. I'm gonna just get rid of some blocks. Axiom does. Empire, very exciting. Yes. Axiom does have a lot more hotbar slots. I'm just really bad at using them, so maybe I'll get into that. So an empire. What does an empire usually have? Well, you start with the smaller buildings. You start with kind of the local huts and things, and then you kind of get into the more, the higher walls and what. I need my FOV to be a lot higher. It's just what I'm used to. For some people, higher FOV is disorientating. For me, lower FOV is disorientating. What I love about this mod is that you can just have a fast place and be quite far away, so you can kind of just see what you're doing, and you could lay out a whole city like this. We also need to think about some pathing. I want to have some buildings that are quite standard. And then I want to have some buildings that, so if I have a few smaller buildings like this, I can then build a city quite quickly by just pasting the assets in. But I also want some more unique buildings. And I want everything to be explorable. So that makes it a lot harder on me because it means I have to think about interiors and stuff like that. But in the end, you're going to have a map that you can actually go inside of rather than a map that you can... You see the outside and it's cool, but there's no storyline there. Or there is story, but you can't interact with the story necessarily. So the good thing about the mud buildings that I have here, I have a house that has a design. It's finished. I mean, there's no interior per se, but I have a design for it, which means that now once I have a design of one house, I can make many different shapes and different houses just based on that design. Although this is currently a bit boring because it lacks most of color, been trying to add that with some domes. But this is kind of the mud section here. I'm gonna try to do some desert buildings or some... Doesn't have to be desert because you can, with this palette of blocks, you could very quickly add stuff like the stone variants, and maybe even make it medieval just with a few clicks, and suddenly we have a more medieval base. But I'm gonna try stick to some basic materials, I'd call it first. before I end up going a bit overboard. So first we want a kind of a height to the building. And yes, I should just use the Axiom tool to stack the building. There we go. And if I press R, I can just replace the bottom section. I can just scroll along and just add some detail if I don't misplace it. Also, underused block in my opinion, the endstone bricks. I think it makes for great detail, as long as with its cousin, the endstone. That with some sandstone can work really well. So now that we have our kind of walls in place, this is the outline of our house, we can go inside the Axiom tool and go to the flood fill. And we're just going to select cheeky spruce planks and just fill in the bottom of the house. So that's always the question. So when you have a house, do you in Minecraft, do you want the floor to be part of the terrain itself? Grab this block. Do you want it to be do you want it to be here or do you want it here? Because it makes a difference, of course, here. Now, if the player is standing here, how do they get up there? So that's always the difference. In this case, because I am doing kind of the elevated, going into the house elevate, I'm gonna need roads that have some sort of outside that are maybe slabbed, or the entrance to be a bit higher up with some stairs of some sort. This does elevate it from the road. Something that I might end up reverting by moving these houses one block down, and do it maybe for some higher ranking houses that they, you have to kind of get off the street level to get or to get inside the house essentially. So the entrance I'm going to make here. Window there. Or maybe no window at all, or the windows are small, or the windows are maybe a bit more like this. And then we can always leave I like leaving a wall with no windows. It kind of gives me more space to then put a staircase there that maybe isn't in the way, or having a chimney that isn't in the way. Also, of course, the more windows one would add in real life, the more insulation or the more heat escapes, essentially. For anything that's like class a lower tier house, I like going with more a fence gate approach. What could also work really well is some scaffolding. So in this case, it just lacks a bit of depth. I think I just broke a block a little back. That's the one downside for using a tool that kind of reaches all around. You can just break blocks in the distance, which I have done. So you need to be a bit more careful. So I'm not going to really focus on the inside at the moment. I want to design for the house itself. I'm also trying to get back into using some of the glazed terracottas again. So what we could do is have a line of glazed at the top, kind of give it something at the top, and then obscure it again with either slabs or trapdoors. maybe in this case some bamboo trapdoors, or going with the good old oak. Gives it a kind of a band at the top. Though, because we have this corner here, I have to figure that out. Again, because that corner is going to be a bit more difficult. I kind of like where that's going. What we could also do is I've been just trying to use a few more blocks on the outside that maybe normally you wouldn't see in a build, or maybe not in mine, essentially. I'm sure other people use this a lot, but stuff like signs or buttons on the walls outside can just give that extra bit of detail. Here, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do. I could do something like this, where it's a bit more overhang, but then again, we have those blocks kind of showing. It doesn't make too much sense. Or just have it where kind of leave that empty. Because although we could do that, it kind of takes that entire block away, which I really don't like. And of course, we can always rotate the blocks to actually give off a nicer pattern. Give that sunshine pattern. Again, this is part of Axiom, where you can actually, with your empty hand, click on the blocks and they will rotate. I'm just gonna take I think a slab for the roof area. Just pull that across and remove the anything that's kind of over the top. There we go. I'm semi-happy with this house at the moment, not entirely sure about it, but let's try another. I'm gonna have to sneeze, so I'm gonna mute. Alright, I'm done sneezing. I want you guys to be deafened by my loud sneezing. Might change it up for the sounds. Maybe the color palette is throwing me off currently. Let's try the cut sandstone as the bottom. So going from the cut sandstone into the... Oh, no, I don't want to replace. Huh? So currently the only detail we have is the buttons, kind of the terracotta going on, and the slabs, but even the slabs don't look that great. I mean, been setting it down. Again, I'm gonna go for the terracotta. I do think this can work. Just have to find a good way of making it work. Of course, I could do something like over there with the dome. Hope it didn't just... I think I just broke the dome over there. Great. Yep. Don't click into the distance, Rob. Maybe I'll add the buttons to the terracotta itself. And oh, it's looking at me. If I actually make the windows taller again, like in the other houses. Leaving that wall empty. Maybe just the door is like this. Again, with the floor, I'm just gonna do cheeky that. That's a bit quicker. Gonna go with a cheeky wall on top. Give it a bit more height in that sense. Try a trapdoor. Not that, that's not really visible from the outside. No. I think some different sand textures would definitely give this a bit more. I mean, we now have the suspicious sand as well, which is actually quite interesting. It kind of has that kind of fluffy texture. Yeah, I like this house a lot more. It's kind of cleaner than this. We can definitely use the end stone maybe in a house that is a bit higher and wealthier. So could just yoink it. Go into mind to me. Then if I remove this manually, no. So inside we have a block or a slab spot that we can use. Might opt going for something different to the thing there and leaving the broom. So when you come in, you still kind of have the decorative look from the inside out to the outside. Just want to try something different by taking some stairs and slabs. Actually, let me take a smooth slab. Because what we could do, since that would connect. This would definitely give it an interesting look. I think I'll make one building with the walls and one building without, with the slabs on top. So Axiom has this great feature, it's called Clone. I'm gonna just take this building, middle click on the button so I can also get them in my selection. I think I should have everything. Then I can just scroll and finish and it's placed. So now instead of the walls, I'm going to be placing my sandstone stairs. And slabs with the full block of. We'll see what we do here. The full block with stone block. Okay. Where's my slab gone? Of course, this roof that I'm doing here would take a lot more work to build per house than the walls one, as this one has multiple components. So that would be the difference. That probably change that out to be that. Maybe just. So those would be kind of the two different variants. I do like this. It's very simple. It's clean cut. The trapdoors could even be removed at the top because we have the ceiling underneath. Very clean when you come in. There's not too many textures going on. You can fill it with whichever blocks you want. Now for the windows, we could do something like this. We could, of course, always take glass. Like going for more a gray stained glass or a light gray stained glass. Could also do a combination of both. Maybe not on this window because it's so small. Or a combination between the two. Maybe as a sense of should like it the other way around. To say, hey, you can open your windows because we are in the desert, because this is a hotter climate. We have windows that are openable, but that do have glass. Sense of when a sandstorm hits. Maybe that's a nice combo. Let out the heat when it is there and be able to cover it up quite quickly when there's a sandstorm coming. Okay. Door-wise, I think we're just gonna go for the standard jungle door. I think there's nothing too wrong with that. Could also go for the bamboo, haven't tried that. The bamboo. That actually works quite nicely. Let's see about the jungle one. I think both have their charm. You know, I think I'm gonna try with the bamboo for now. Can myself in there. There we go. I think these are some really cute house variants. Much cuter than the one we had. A lot simpler as well. Could always actually rotate these in a nicer way. If I can... Here we go. I do wish there was a setting in Minecraft to have like snap terracotta, where all the terracotta that is placed tries to snap to its counterpart and create a pattern of your choosing, so that you wouldn't actually have to go around and either place it by hand, or in this case use a mod to click them individually. Because that pattern, of course, looks a lot nicer than just this kind of randomized pattern. Like if you see that in the wilderness, you're gonna like it a lot more than that, because that one has pattern. And I want to do it to this building so that I am happy. Rotate it, 3 there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. That was 1, 2. It was already in place. 1, 2. That one is in place. 1, 1. Yeah, that's the odd one out. Much nicer. I think definitely going for a combination of both roofs can also mix up the city. But now we have some desert houses here. We have one kind of mud brick house. We'll see if they go in the same... I mean, they'd be in different areas, which would kind of be cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make a maybe a bit bigger building with that design. And also desert design. Probably spelled desert wrong there. What I might try out first is Axiom's like acid plate, I think it is. I want to see how that works. So to my knowledge, I have to select what I want first, which makes sense. All of it, yep. So now I have it copied. And now I've forgotten the hotkey to... Oh. Create blueprint, yes. Name. Let me just press cancel because I want to not select the grass below it. Up. That way, that way. Let me try this again. Let me select the grass first. I can then just pull it up. Then I have the anti-grass, yes. And then we want the buttons on this side. Okay. Click each point. And now I'm gonna press enter. Control C. Control P. That's the name. Tags. Ooh, let's see. We can have structure as a tag. House. So this will help when if we ever need to search the house. And these are just some tags that are already given. But I'm gonna add desert. And small house as a tag. And I'm gonna name it small. You can't see this because it's only on my screen, but it's opened up a file essentially to save it under. Which I've saved it under. All right, I've saved a blueprint. How do I place stamp? So I know I can just Control V stuff now, which is great, but like just press enter and then like houses appear, which is cool. May I please undo? So that's cool. But I thought there probably is a way, I'm just not. I'm still learning this all. So this is not what I'm looking for. You can like place grass on everything, which is nice. Not what I'm looking for though. Shatter, roughen, distort, smooth. That's all the slope stuff. That's the fill. That's a path, which is really cool and new. Noise painter, rock tool, sculpt tool. Add blueprints. Guess I'll open my folder and see if I can find my blueprint in here. Where has it saved my blueprint? I feel like it's saved in the wrong Minecraft instance. Let me just check. Yes, it's saved in the wrong Minecraft instance. So I need to port this over, and in a sense copy it over, because I was using a different Minecraft instance 1.20.1 instead of this is 1.20.2. So I need to put this over into our folder here. What is it? Config, Axiom, blueprints. And just refresh that. Add blueprint. There it is. Amazing. Oh, look at all the lovely houses we can paste. Alright. Chance a bit off. Okay, that's still doing that. See. Because if we have a ton of houses, we could just go over an area and say, we kind of just want this stuff, and then we just do, wow. Look at that. Offset. Minimum spacing. This needs to go up. Oh, look. And make a little path, and now we have houses around it. And it's all different rotations. This is gonna... And then because I just clicked deferred on it, I could change where these are. So it's kind of just, it's locked in, but it's not locked in. And then if you press enter, oh my god, there's houses. Okay, we're kind of using that. We could use a cube. Base chance. Okay. We're gonna make it immediate. So we could essentially make different zones and say, these houses should go here, these houses should go here, and then it's all just once we have all those houses. So let's make another blueprint of the other house. Let's exit out of this. So this is the one we have. So this is our second variant here. Let's just copy that. Again, I'm just going to take the ground because that's easier. I'm going to click on this little cube down here. I'm going to drag the arrow up one. I have way too much on this axis. And we need one more block on that one, so attach it here and press enter. So now I have this all selected. I'm gonna create a blueprint by pressing, what is that, Control P. It already has all its names. Small desert house variation 2. And I want to actually save this in the correct file this time because I saved the other one, wrong one. Axiom 1.5 config Axiom blueprints. Save. Now we go over here. We're gonna add blueprint and look at that. Gonna press enter so that our bounding box is gone over there, and now I don't see the other one. How to save this one? Oh, it's because I didn't press Control C. Oh. I'm noob. Let's do that again. All right, up we go. Click one up. One more cube over here. I press enter. Gonna press Control C this time. So we actually have this. Then yes, now we actually have this. Small desert house variation. In this case, 1 because we call the other one 2. Guess I want to overwrite the other file. And now that, get that. Now we have 2 different housing. We can paste around the map. Increase the minimum spacing, and now we can paste them on top of each other. Not exactly what we want. Now imagine this with trees and maybe some rocks as well. So this is not only good for housing. Right, this will also be good for like all the kind of little assets you want to place on roads and stuff like that. I wonder if you can mask this to a certain block. I'm guessing you can, because if I am not wrong, back into here, we could first draw our roads and then magically select them. Or let's just freehand select. So if we want like a city area here, and a city area here, and a city area here, and then we go to the stamp tool, and we just, now we can only place in these city areas, and then the rest would be free of everything else. Press enter to get rid of that. All right. And we have 2 houses as blueprints that we can place anywhere we want. So now we just need a few more houses and do these. Sorry, this is way too much fun to play around with. It's just no tool has ever given me this much power other than World Painter. But World Painter, although it gives you this power with schematics, you can't actually see it happening in real time. Okay, so what I'd like to make is like a small minaret or small tower. I think that'll go quite well. So I'm just gonna get rid of some of these blocks. And then we can also look at maybe some bigger structures. Yeah, this'll be a lot of fun, I think. Makes me excited. I'm gonna go for maybe something similar to that. Kind of have to see how much time I still have left, because I know somebody wants me in a meeting eventually, even on Sunday. So let's replace that with some of these and go to our stack tool. Press Alt. We're just gonna select this and just go up by a few blocks. We're gonna sandstone. We're gonna get some of this block and maybe some of these and that. Go out of, press R again to get out of that mode. I'll just pick some signs. I would like to not press A. I'm too close. I know I just covered up these lovely looking blocks, so add them up here again. But since we have a button theme going on, have some stairs. Go into kind of a bit more, maybe like that. Rather than having the stairs like these, having the stairs again like adding some little details. It's quite ground heavy at the moment. I'm just messing around, by the way. I have no clue what I'm doing. I just like saying words to it, like ground heavy. I think I know what I'm doing sometimes. It kind of looks like a queen in the game of chess. It's actually quite funny. I like that. I find that sometimes if I build things very quickly and don't know what I'm doing, I sometimes get better results. I don't know about you, but that does happen to me sometimes. Messing around, gosh. Trying to combine different textures, different heights. Already have that trapdoor selected. No, I don't have the trapdoor selected because I overrode it. Yeah. I want you down there. Just need something small to kind of top it off. Could be as simple as just placing like concrete powder or adding a different glazed terracotta, like the yellow, kind of doing the flower pattern. It's a little impressive kind of watchtower thing going on there. I like it. I'm not at all opposed to this. feel like it needs just 2 eyes here, and then it's kind of like a angry looking tower Ottoman. Right, let's quickly blueprint this. So going back into this mode, going to the select. I'm selecting the ground because it makes a lot of things easier. Actually, I need to redo this. I had a double selection going on there. Alright. Clicking on this, going one up because I do not want to select the grass. So I'm going to press enter. So I have it as a blueprint, or as a, now I have to Control C, Control P. I am going to add tower to this. Yes, they have a tower. Move that. It isn't a small house, it's a desert tower. And call it yeah, desert tower. I'm gonna give it a variation 1. I'm going to save this. Yep, in the right folder. Now if I go to stamp, add blueprint, I can just add this. And as you can see now, I get a tower every now and then. So it's become a lot more lively. So now when you walk through the city, that's slowly emerging. You have these kind of minarets sticking out. Right, back to that mode. Undo. Kind of want to see if I get... So if I put the chance higher for these, and put the chance lower for that, I should get less towers in my spread than the houses. Which is quite nice. So I could also play around with that. Do I want this tower maybe appearing more often, having a different tower in the district? A few more. So I could also be like, I only want towers. Then we only get towers. Alright, we make one more house? I don't know, let me just check when this meeting's meant to happen. Okay, it's meant to happen in like 9 minutes. Then I'm just gonna make some blueprints for these houses, or for this house, not the big one. Hey Frost, I am messing around with Axiom. I'm thinking of maybe making an empire because I've been really inspired recently. And yeah, here, let me just show you because I have to go in 9 minutes. So I've made these 2 houses with this tower, and I'm messing around with the stamp mode in Axiom, which means I've made blueprints, and now look what I can do. I can change the percentage of the towers, I can increase the house, and I can make entire cities. I can make entire cities really quickly. And I could even dictate different areas of where I want to make stuff. And I'm gonna undo that. But yeah, it's so powerful. I feel so powerful. Damn, Axiom is powerful. Like, god damn. And that's only with like 3 assets that I've made in the last hour. I'm just gonna blueprint this stuff. This is from just me building yesterday. I was just messing around with different wall designs and going for like a more mud brick design, and some hallways. So I'm just gonna blueprint this little house. So first I need to select it. I'm gonna do by selecting the grass because that's easiest. I'm just gonna raise it up. I'm gonna click this corner here, and I do not want the grass. I'm just gonna eliminate that. I'm gonna press enter to finish the selection. I'm gonna press Ctrl C to put it up here in my clipboard. Ctrl P to open the menu up where I can save. And no, this is not desert, this is not tower, this is structure and small house. I also have a small house thing that I made myself, that tag. And this one's gonna have a mud tag to it. So I'm gonna create that tag. So if I ever want to find my blueprints, then I can actually find them. Okay, name is just gonna be a mud house small variation 1. Let's save that. Goes into a folder that you can't see, but because I'm not streaming my entire screen. Then I'm just gonna save it. And now if I would go to my stamp, I could add blueprint and add my mud house, for instance. Fly over here. And now my mud house would be added to this, whatever, the stamp that I'm using. So what I want to do essentially is make a bunch of houses. Yes, I want to create entire huge cities from scratch. That's the plan. I want to make some towers, some walls. I mean, walls I kind of have to place myself anyway, but like it is getting ridiculously easy if you understand this tool, if you want to do map making. So yeah, this is kind of, that's why I want to learn this tool, because I see the strength of it. And the devs are also really nice. Yeah, I've seen them in some of the discords, like, as you know, like the Legoland Discord, they're in there, and of course they have their own discords. Yeah, and this is ridiculously powerful for map making. I mean, you can make a few trees, just paste those around. Make a few houses, paste those around, right? I'm gonna interior this house. I know everybody hates interior. Yes, it's like Photoshop. It's like, well, essentially it's like a proper CAD program, right? It's like using Blender, or like having scripting in Blender to do it for you. But here it's all integrated, so you don't even have to write the script for it. Also, love the far reach. Like, look at this. Ooh. I can just place blocks, like, so far, and it was so nice. And then I can sit here and break it all very quickly. I have to be careful. I have to be careful with my block placing, because when you go to your normal thing and press Alt, there's so many options. Frost, there's so many options. How many options could you want? Infinite reach? Yes, sir. Tinker is great. You just click on a block and you're like I want different states. I want this corner to be gone. I want this to be a slab. Like, I want this to be a stair again. I can just click on things and they do all the variation stuff. You're using an Tinker thing for you through. Ah, that's how you're getting all the lovely blocks. Yeah, this mod is overpowered. I need to get the person that does the build server stuff that I work on to get this, to pay them for it and everything, because I'm just using this on single player, but imagine a team of builders using this. Like, this is yeah. It's another level. Alright, I need to go. Insane would be an understatement. Yeah, like, you can just do so much. It's so much fun. All right. I mean, Just think of this, you make one ship, and you can just paste it on the water everywhere. You just have to do your selections correctly, and you have an entire armada. With just a few ships. I mean, you can do that in World Edit, but it just takes forever in World Edit. But here, it doesn't take forever. Alright, I need to go in 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Frostbear, for tuning in. We need to have a chat about Axiom. And maybe I can show you some stuff. But yeah, this is way too fun and way too insane. And I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just getting into like the little bits and bobs. So let's see how this transforms my workflow and maybe yours. All right. Goodbye. I raised my hand there as if you could see me. I don't have a face cam. This doesn't work. Goodbye.